300 level was like the highest training ground for me because that was when I was serving in 3 positions at fellowship also. So, and we did 2 newspaper production. I had to make choices back then. So even though the money for the new guys was much more, was times 2 of what I was getting, I was rather okay to be somewhere where I know that I will be able to do quality work at my own time, but still focus on my main goal of finishing well.
So basically, the devil you knew was better than the angel you
I did not know devil at that point, Sha. It's the corporate world. It's not your father's business. They cannot pay NYC that amount. They wanted to pay me when I was a student. That NYC amount is this particular amount. What? I was like, to heaven with you.
What?
Time is the greatest storyteller. Sometimes you don't understand when some things are happening, but when you look back in time, you would see how it has been a story, whether nice or unnice, and it's a story that still keeps going because as long as we are alive, we would always have time.
Hello. Welcome back to the Safe Space podcast with Princess. I will not say it's been a while because you're probably going to have this like 2 weeks or a week after the first part of this episode, and so we still have our dear brother and friend here with us, and I mentioned that this time around I'm going to go in like really personal into the story from school, into jobs, into gigs, into growing his career, into building his career, challenges he has faced, corporate life, how it is like. In fact, before we press the record, we were talking about how corporate life can be like toxic, like managing people. How do you like just go from like even the little I'm seeing in this my service here.
This podcast.
Don't worry. Hopefully your boss doesn't listen to this. But I'm just like in this little months that I've been like in corporate life, I'm just like corporate life is not for me. Like the whole structure, the people, like the whole life thing. In fact, how do you do it with waking up very early in the morning and coming back late in the night? Like no space, every day, weekend, and then I expect you to do some things outside. I don't want to go into all of these things. So I just want you to go into your personal story, basically. Don't hide anything from us. From final year, into work, into life, basically.
All right. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Good day. I beg. Sorry.
I'm back again.
So I'm back again.
Introduce yourself again.
So this is Abiola Ogunleye. I was on a previous episode where we were speaking about the bigger picture. Life is bigger than now. Doing things now with the future in mind and all of that. And now they say I should talk about my life. My personal experience. So because from that last podcast we spoke a lot about how certain actions, I saw that they were eventually useful in the future when I look back. So I think I would like to say this. I heard it in a sermon by a pastor also, that time is the greatest storyteller. When you sometimes you don't understand when some things are happening, but when you look back in time, you would see how it has been a story, whether nice or unnice, and it's a story that still keeps going because as long as we are alive, we would always have time, and time will keep telling stories. So for me, 400 level, I entered 400 level, I think pumped and full of energy that okay, finally, this is the final year, but also a bit worried about. So after final year now, I'm supposed to start work. So pumped and excited of everything that was going to be happening in final year because it was going to be the culmination of all that we've been doing in university. And then first semester came. I had regular duty responsibilities. So for me, a large part of my time in school also was devoted to school fellowship as well. So I had leadership positions in my final year. I don't know if it was my final year, I was in 3 levels or in 300 level, but I was in 2 levels of leadership position at my school fellowship. In final year.
BP,
zone and so zone and the branch. And part of the responsibilities that serving at the zone put on me was we constantly had to travel to look at other branches.
Oh my God, you were a nomad. That's true.
Looking at other branches, and I this was something that I also started since I was in 200 level as a chapter executive, because one thing that was impressed on our hearts back then was, as a leader of a group of people, you have to be concerned about their welfare. You have to know how they are faring. So that was the point of those travels, honestly, to know how they are faring, see how things are going. Firstly, before now even saying, okay, let's correct this. Because how would you feel if you have a group leader and the group leader is not checking on you? The group leader does not know anything about you. The person will just be speaking out of turn. So I would come to see how that would also be useful later. So I'm just saying everything since you asked for everything.
Yeah.
So I had those responsibilities in fellowship, and also in school I was editor-in-chief of the school newspaper. So we'd already in 300 level in 300 level we'd already gone through a very hectic production. We produced the newspaper twice because of ASU strike. So we were already planning for the convocation. We had our news stories, but the convocation was postponed, so we had to just publish those stories online. We published twice in 300 level, but that was when we started our online platform. So we're already ready to go to the print. The convocation was to be the next week, so we're already ready to go. We had our news stories and everything. Then suddenly ASU announced strike. So what we just did was we published those stories online on Unilaxon. See, we are doing adverts for them now. So we published the stories online, and then by the end, when the school eventually resumed, we now did some work around again to gather new fresh stories and release as hard copy. So that year we did 2 publications, and meanwhile for the online one also, we also had adverts for that. Then we also did new set of adverts for the other hard copy. So I'd already gone. 300 level was like the highest training ground for me, because that was when I was serving in 3 positions at fellowship also. And we did coming to 400 level with all of this, knowing that if I was able to go through that level, and I think I did fairly well in my academics. I think as at then, that was when I had my best results up in that point, in my point in school. So I was like, if I've done all of this, so God has got final year. And I for one was also excited to write my project. I do my project myself. So it's something that when I get outside and I hear people say they don't do their project themselves, I'm like, how was it that difficult for you? I loved writing my project. I think
because I heard a lot of,
and time will keep telling stories. So for me,
people saying that they gave people their projects. So I thought that it was so much of a big deal.
Yeah.
So it made me scared, like, how am I going to
same here.
I'm like,
it's still, after school, I've still done one with someone. I've done a little project with someone where we did questionnaires and all of that, and it's something that if I had the time, I would like to do again, to be honest. I love the whole academic, doing research and all of that. It's something I love. I like to lecture. I like to lecture someday, actually.
This is what they call a scholar. I love studying.
Yes, now. So I just got into my project, but so now here is where work comes in. At the end of 300 level, we did internship, and how did I get into the company where I interned? A colleague, a senior in the department who is like an elder brother to me, Favor, did his internship there. And he posted it online. He posted it on Instagram. I saw that they tagged each other. The company tagged him, or he tagged the company. And I was like, this is nice. So I said, and I commented under it that I would like to intern here someday. I just randomly put the comments. I was still in 200 level back then. Favor was in 300 level. I commented there, and then I got a response that, okay, send a mail to so if you would like to intern. And I just started sending the mail. I don't think I got a response immediately, but after a while, during the strike, during the COVID-19 break, then I got a response that, oh, no problem, whenever you're ready, let us know. But currently we're on break because of COVID-19. So after COVID-19, when school resumed, I did my internship there, and I would like to say that I did my best. I'm someone that likes to give my best to everything I'm doing, because I like to give the very best possible to everything I'm doing as much as is within me. So I tried to do my best there. While I was there, one of the things I just started doing up for them was I started handling their social media page. Like I just started. I'm someone that coming from my background in the school where I used to handle the newspaper. So I just started writing content around the industry. And one thing it did for me was it also helped me understand the industry well, because I'd had to do research. If they mention one thing, I'll go and Google it. That was something I also used to do a lot in school. When lecturers were talking in class, if they mention something I'm not quite familiar with, in year one, after that, I'll run to that cafe, that MTN cafe, and go and browse it. And I'll get lost in rabbit holes, just browsing and reading about it. So I used to put out a lot of content. I started a series in that company, right? EXP 101. I started just posting it on the IG pages, on the LinkedIn pages, and I think I had, which is where we are starting to enter in the corporate world now. So my boss noticed that it was something. I just suggested it that, because at first when you are new to a place, they'll just tell you to keep watching and observing, because they won't really give you anything to do because they don't know what you can do. It gets annoying, but I can understand. It's their work. You don't get the chance to mess. If you mess up, it will result in financial loss for the company. So I was in that state also, and I wasn't sure. Okay, they say I should be learning, but what can I do in the meantime? So back then also, I was still playing around with Canva, doing graphic designs and all of that. And I just thought one day, I just took the initiative. Let me put together this series, explaining as I'm learning this thing. Let me just share it. And I shared it with her, and she was like, "Oh, this is nice stuff. We can post it on our page." And then she signed over. She gave me access to the page. So I'll do the design. I'll share it with her. I posted it. In between all of that, I did a couple of content creation courses, social media management courses, copywriting courses, and then they taught us, oh, you have to do a content calendar, post scheduling. So I would be doing that, practicing it with her, and which is a privilege I think I had, because not some companies will not give you that much access, but she gave me the access. So I started just doing it, recording content for the page, for the company. So it was something that even if there was not so much pressing work to be done in the company, I was actively doing something, because it's social media, you want to update it every day. And at some point, my boss even now gave me the feedback that other companies within the IMC world, IMC space, they would reach out to her and say that I like the content you people put out. Aww. And she would be like, nice one. She was proud of it. And she gave me that feedback. So that boosted my morale more. That, okay, nice stuff. That means we're doing something right. Yeah. So the encouragement from her was a huge boost for me to just, okay, I'm doing something right. And then and that place helped me grow in my graphics, in my design skills. I know a lot of graphic designers, I will listen to this, will be like, if you use Canva, I need graphic design. The best. So I was choosing it to design graphics, and people were liking it, and it was communicating what I wanted to communicate. And refer back to what I said about why I studied mass comm. I wanted to try and use every form of communication possible. I'm someone that will still even like to learn sign language at some point if the opportunity presents itself, because I just want to, and I think it stems from maybe a childhood language,
like coding or sign language. Oh yeah,
deaf, yes,
me too. Yeah,
how to speak to the deaf and dumb. So yeah. I think it stems from maybe a childhood experience for me. I had experiences with a lot of people where I saw that communication was what actually messed the whole situation up, and things will have not gotten rough, even with my parents, with people around me growing up. And that, I think that was just drew my heart towards communication, that if you can actually learn to manage this, they will reduce a lot of issues in society. So that was how
into international relations.
I mean, I don't mind being
peace, communication.
They should come and hire me. I don't mind. I mean, if I get, yes, now if so, it's part of what, those are part of areas I want to explore for my further studies as well.
Hey,
so God, you are hearing us. So so that was how I did that internship. I just said all of this to say that I did that internship really well, such that, and at the end of the internship we had to do a presentation. I did a presentation in the company. They liked it, they made some adjustments, and when I submitted back to my supervisor in school, I mean, we got a blanket score because that was what our supervisor back then used to give. They said they just give a blanket score to everybody. It wasn't A, I think it was just B. Everybody got B's.
Funny thing is that same supervisor now gave us a blanket score, but it was A.
You see, so I mean,
and we didn't even have to do any defense.
No, we did. I don't think we did. It was in the company I defended. We didn't defend in school. So so after that, I now also asked because I really loved the place and I loved the kind of atmosphere that was built there. And anyone who has worked in that place would tell you that it's become, the place is almost like a family. There are times when it is quite, it's business, and the boss gets angry and she's like, this is the things we have to do, and you know that you expect it of her for two reasons. Number one, it's actually our investment. It's the boss's investment. It's the CEO's investment in the company. And if you are the one that is investing in the place, so you want to make profit from whatever you are doing. You will not want to mess up your history of connections, your wealth of experience, and all of that. So, and number two, she's human as well. So extending that grace, not being unrealistic. I think that's one thing. So a lot of people have unrealistic expectations of people. People are
in workspaces.
I
have an unrealistic expectation of the people that I'm currently working with. But just in case that they listen to this podcast, I will not go for that.
Okay. For number one, as a human being, know that everybody is a human being. Then when you're not a Christian again, know that not everybody is a Christian. And number two, know that not everyone that is even a Christian is a growing Christian. So you have to, and now
I'm always disappointed.
This links back to what I said about serving. Because I served in a fellowship, we say we don't call ourselves pastors, but it was in a pastoring position where you are overseeing a couple of people. Yeah. You meet all sorts of people. You must have met all sorts of people. So if you were putting your mind there, you would have known that there are different. I mean, there were people that were good with prayer, good with the word, and there were specific things they would do, and you'd be like, Sister Kini, no be you suppose.
I think it has always been like that with me. Because I always expect so much from someone that I term as a believer or a Christian. Oh. So even in the fellowship, it has always been like that I will get disappointed. So it's no surprise that even in life, why am I saying even in life, like even outside of fellowship, I'm like, you're a Christian, don't do this now. I'm like, and the funny thing is that immediately after that thing that has happened, and then they're not talking about God or talking about one church.
You'll be like,
what is this?
Like that TikTok, your mother. So, yeah. I mean, in the end, we have to constantly remind ourselves that we're all recipients of God's grace. And while
me myself,
yes, we're all recipients of God's grace. So don't put any human being in that. So I, not to get off track. I did well, and I just asked that, okay, I don't mind being a part of this even after, because I know we didn't have to resume to school immediately after the internship. So, and that started it for me. So I said I don't mind being a part of, continuing with whatever, whenever they have any gigs and all, I don't mind helping out, being a part of it. And she was like, fine. And from then I gained access. Yeah.
Just to cut you off there.
Yeah.
So when you said you didn't mind helping out and all of those things, was it like that you didn't even think about the monetary aspect?
Yes.
So you were just open to.
So when I even started the internship, we didn't discuss payments because I was naive then. I thought it was an internship. I was grateful to have internship so I can report back in school that I've done my IT and I've closed it.
So they were not paying you?
They actually started paying me the first month, but it was not a discussion we had that. So when I even got the payments, I was so grateful. I was like, oh, you're paying me too. I sent a message. I was grateful. So, and even, I won't say it's even because I had some writing gigs that I was also doing around that time. So I was like, that one, I'm actually rendering service, but yeah, I'm supposed to be learning, so you don't have to pay me. But I mean, good workplaces pay interns. Good workplaces pay interns. I'm repeating it.
Good workplaces
pay interns. I beg, pay.
Well, I also want to add to that. I think I like the fact that you said that you just wanted to learn, and it was a good attitude to have to work. But this is off track and so funny. What is it with people thinking that we ought to say thank you for payment, for
salary? No, you don't have to. it's just
so like maybe like a one-man business or something like.
If it's directly, yes, yes. And even if it's the one-man business, you worked for the money actually.
Right.
Yeah. In my case, these were reasons why I was grateful.
Because someone else, like when I was doing internship, that person was like, "Have you thanked this person for your salary? Have you not received it? Have you thanked him?" I'm like, and then a friend of mine too. This one is not even an internship. A friend of mine too, when she was working, and then someone else was telling her that, "Have you sent a thank you to your boss for the salary?" I'm like, what's this thing? Is it like in the corporate space or what?
I mean, not to sound rude or unappreciative, I like to think that I think I'm a very appreciative person, but people get salaries because they work for it. Right. That's why they are working for the money. As much as they might like to advance their career goals, fulfill projects, the reason why most people work is for money, so they deserve it. Now, if you have a personal relationship with your boss or the person that pays your salary, there's nothing also bad in thanking them, maybe because they are fulfilling their part of the bargain. We both signed an agreement. I work for you, you pay me a salary. Oh, thank you for working hard. Thank you for fulfilling. Thank you for paying me my salary. But it's not but it's not a right or something that you have to do, that you have to go and thank. In my own case, I was a university student that was not anything in the industry, and I was given a chance to do all of this, so that was why. And so I just kept working there after school, so that added also to my work as a student fellowship leader, as Unilag son. So I had that also. At some point I started working remotely. At some point during school I would go on days to school, but this is why I'm saying that I had a good boss. The laptop I used to do my final year project was the company laptop. I didn't have my own personal laptop. What? And there was a lot of, I remember during that long stretch, I started working for another company also in that period while I was still with her.
Like as a side gig or?
Yeah, as a side gig. That one was fully remote. Okay. But it was also like whenever we would have events once in a while, and I just saw it started becoming a lot, and I had to eventually now prioritize that, okay, can I do this? And I had a discussion with the person, the CEO then, that, oh, sir, I don't think I'll be able to handle this. And he was like, no problem. Is there any issues? I said, no issues. I just think I'm not, because like I said, I want to give the best of myself in both whatever I'm doing. So I saw that.
CEO, is it the one from the internship or
no, the new one?
So you had to let it go.
Because I saw that the goals that I had set for myself, it won't be possible for me to handle all of these things together, because in 400 level back then, so I had 2 leadership positions, I had the newspaper, I had it was in 400 level I started seeing the potential of, okay, maybe I can actually finish with a first class. My results were going up and down throughout the session, so I was like, but when I entered 400 level first semester, I was like, okay, maybe I can try, let's see. Let's just try and pay attention to it. And there was a lot of things to do actually in 400 level. So I just told the man I wouldn't be able to do it. So prioritizing for me came in there. But
what was the defining factor between choosing like those two, like aside from
those two roles, Abby?
But those two, like they were 2 different companies and you were doing 2 different things. What was the defining factor for choosing one over the other?
So at that point in my life, my goal was to finish well from school, not to earn money with a job.
Okay.
So when I had to now decide between 2 jobs, I chose the one that was going to that was aligning with my current goal. As human
more time
that would allow me finish well from school, that would support it. And I mean, this one already gave me a laptop. My laptop is the company laptop I'm using for my project. And they understood that I was in my final year. There was a lot of grace that was extended to me because I was in final year, and I still kept getting my stipend.
But the other one, they
expected the full focus, and I just thought it's better to work with someone you've known for a while than just start. I wouldn't want to start, because the reason why I enjoyed that grace from my current my employer back then with, oh, you can do your project, you can take your time, is because when I came in, I gave my 100%. They saw that when I was not occupied with anything, I was giving my 100%. Yeah, so the first impression was a good impression. But imagine starting with that impression for a new person. The person might not understand. So I was like, I don't want to. I prefer not starting some things than doing them in a rough way. It's not always good, but I wanted to.
So basically, the devil you knew was better than the angel you
I did not know devil at that point, Sha. But yeah,
you knew.
I decided to stick with someone that I knew that understood what I was doing.
Just to understand the scope or the like heaviness of that decision that you had to make. What was the money that you were receiving from the other one that you had to let go? What was the difference in the payment?
I think the new company was paying me times 2 actually. They're paying me times 2.
Can you say the amount?
No, don't let me say the amounts. Don't let me say the amount. But they were paying me times 2.
Double of the one that you settled.
Yes.
Settled for the one that you chose.
Yes, and it was a painful decision, but I prayed before taking that decision also. I prayed before taking that decision because, so I'm saying the reason why I also left that was also not just because it was not because I could not handle it, but some things would deliberately suffer. For example, my roles in the fellowship were going to suffer. It was fine, and this was even where the reason why I left it. I started working there with them when school was still on holiday, and it was going fine because there was not so much on-demand presence with the branch of the fellowship. But when school resumed, I had to be on ground, so I had to make choices back then. So because of even though the money for the new guys was much more, was times 2 of what I was getting, I was rather okay to be somewhere where I know that I will be able to do quality work at my own time, but still focus on my main goal of finishing well. So I just had to. And when I prayed back then, one of the things I got was, it felt good to be able to make a decision with God in view also, because that was the thing for me. I made it with decision of knowing that I have been appointed to serve in this position. I cannot afford to let go down. If I want to do well in my academics, how much more what God has handed over to me. So I went through final year with just that one source of income. I could not even take in as many gigs as possible also because of there was a lot more responsibility. And that's mostly final year went by. Tried my best in my studies. I think I had good results in final year. I was basically trying to lead every group project, every group work, because I wanted to finish well. That was my goal, because in my mind I was like, this is the culmination of whatever all the 4 years I've been spending in school. Let it end well. Let me be able to say, okay, this was what I used my 4 years to do. I had a good result. But I say it now to people that they should not judge that only by whether they get a grade, a particular grade, a first class grade or a second class grade, but knowing that they did their best with it. And I trust that parents and whoever or their guardians that they are presenting those results to will understand that this child actually did his best. And the way you will show you did your best is, what can you do with that result after school? What are the skills that you've...
We said we are not going into that.
So, continue. And second semester was when it now became more real that this is our last semester. And I started to now think about, okay, what's going to happen after school? What is purpose for me? What I've been, as a believer, you'd have received a lot of words, pointers around some things that you're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, okay, is there a way to collapse this into one statement, one sentence, put it together? And there was usually a lot of worry, but I was praying a lot. Before praying, I spoke with a couple of past alumni from my fellowship, right? I spoke with Momo D. Then I spoke with one of my brothers from Brotokbe. How we met is a chance encounter as well, but I'm very grateful for him in my life. And both of them just encouraged to do was keep praying. And they were like, that's the advice, that's what you will need even after school, because when life gets so troublesome. And I like it because a lot of people make the mistake of raising people to depend on them for prayers, for answers. If you have anything, just call me. In the end, there's a quote: we must teach our children to pray so that when the word is hurting them, they can speak to God. Because if I say you should speak to me, I will also have things that I will be going through. I can't, as much as I promise to have in my mind all the time. Husbands should have their wife in their mind all the time. But as much as you can promise to have people in your mind all the time, there'll be times that even you yourself, you don't have mind for yourself and your mind is just jumbled. So the best person we can all speak to is God. God can listen to 1 billion people at the same time. So I just kept praying a lot, and in those prayers came comfort, in those prayers came direction as regards, okay, am I going back to Ibadan, am I staying in Lagos, what church, that was when I got the directions that, okay, stay currently where you are, don't leave. And that one was another story on its own, because I was directed by a couple of, they meant well for me, right, to move to another denomination, join another community of believers, but I did not get the conviction to leave, right? And I know that right now it's people like, which stupid conviction are you looking for? Look at what they are doing, look at what we are doing. But I mean, I prefer, there's a way my work with God has been that has not negated scriptures, and I'd rather prefer to grow in that, understanding God better with that, rather than acting on. And one thing I like to also do is to be responsible for my own decisions. I wouldn't want to be somewhere, then I'll not be regretting, and it will not be like, and I'm there because of this person. No, it may be stubbornness, but I'd rather to be suffering and I'd be like, at least I'm the one that used my hand to do myself.
Yeah.
So, and besides that, getting direct was that, okay, just stay here. Yeah. Don't rush. I also don't like rushing into making decisions. I like to take my time. Of course, within the stipulated time frame that I'm supposed to make that decision. So, as regards church, that was that. As regards work, I was trusting God that I would be able to go back to where I was already working and just continue with there, pending if something else better comes in. But I continued giving my best. So, and even there was a period of time after school when I stopped. I was not able to, I just wanted to take a break from everything. But I still continued with that job. The social media thing was one thing I took very strongly for them. Doing social media and content for them, telling their story online was something I continued doing very strongly.
And did they continue paying?
Yes, they continued sending my money at the end of the month. Yes, so it was very. Now? I'm still with them now, Sha. Yes.
Are they paying you till now?
Yes, they are still paying me till now.
Is it the same money?
No, of course it has increased. So I'm still there till now also.
You know what? Can we fast forward to the point of where you actually left them and you are currently working on that place?
Okay.
You're actually still working with them and they're actually still paying you. Because one thing I've not learned is leaving a place because you know that this is like you need to move into another season, another phase, and not burn the bridges. Because at that point I'm just like, can we move fast? And like I'm just like, I want to tell this person that I'm going. Do you get? And then the person is just like, they don't take it well, and then like, so you are leaving and all of those things, and just like as though I just lose all contact with that season, and I'm like in another season, I'm starting afresh. So how do you manage?
All right, so honestly I think it's just God's wisdom, because it's the corporate world. It's not your father's business. As much as a lot of employers don't like to hear that, but that's the truth. It's not the employee's father's business, and they decided to work in that place on a particular condition. So if they feel like those conditions can be satisfied elsewhere, right now when I'm saying like I'm feeling like, oh, you will become an employer one day. How will you feel if people leave? But I don't think I will feel anyhow. Of course, I'll be sad to feel, oh, this is a very good employee leaving, and I will miss this person's contributions. But I hope that when they were with me, they were able to fulfill. They were able to meet the goals that they set for themselves that were in line with my company goals and values. So. Having said that, while I was there, I basically, that was my introduction to the world of marketing communications. I had access to a lot of integrated marketing communications conversations. My boss she was the vice president of the Marketers Associations of Nigeria back then. Now she's the president. So through our leverage, we got influence to a lot of conferences, trade reports, magazines, all those conversations, interviews, just to learn more. And it for me at some point it now became, and that's what it has become for me now. That's why I'm still there. It has become for me like a family situation where this is the person that gave me this chance into in the marketing space, in the marketing communication space, and I'm just grateful that whatever I become, whatever I eventually become in this marketing world, as much as this person decides that she still has need of me, I would be glad to render my help. And that's just the kind of person that I am. I beyond even burning bridges or anything, I treat every relationship as special, knowing that if I'm able to help out, I should be able to help out. You know, in our conversations, you know, before recording this now, we've spoken about how that there are a couple of friends that I even help with just drafting proposals, drafting. I don't mind doing it. I mean, sometimes it may not be the financially best decision because you can be making cool money from doing that. And of course, there are people that I will charge for doing that. Yeah. There are people that I collect money from doing that. And maybe some of my friends too should be hearing now that going forward, they might have to be paying something for the things I do for them. But to be honest, if I can help you out with something, why not? I mean, even if it's a subsidized cost or if it's at even if it is free, if I can help you out with it, why not? But my own part is that whatever I'm going to be giving you must be quality. So if it's not going to be quality, it's either I will not do it or I will refer it to someone else that can do it. But I won't want to do something for you and then you will get it from me, whether you paid for it or not. You get this from me and you will not be like, this thing is not up to par. I don't want to do that. So with my place of work that I'm still currently, so it, like I said, now it's now become more of a family situation thing where we want this business to prosper, we want this business to actually do well, and this is what they've said I should handle for them. I'm going to keep handling it, right? Even after I've left. So how did I live? So I randomly was some months to my NYS. It was like 2 months to my NYS actually, and I was not planning. I was not planning on leaving. Like I was not actively saying I wanted to leave, but I funny how I got a colleague even referred me. One of my classmates referred me to a particular agency that I think they randomly saw me on LinkedIn, and they said that, oh, if I don't mind coming, and I went for the interview. It looked really okay. It was also a marketing agency, but one of the things that just first made me know that I don't think I want to come to this place was I met a former colleague of the company there, and the way she was talking about the company, she was doing it in a way to make me leave that place. She was trying to, you know, when you're trying to badmouth something to get someone, it's fine if, oh, you are glad to, we can connect over, oh, I like the nice experiences there, it was nice, you will learn. But the person that started talking about it in such a way that, oh, you used to do this there, this one will even be much more tender. And I didn't want to start, I don't like, the foundations of things are very important. I don't want to start a friendship with someone based off bad mouthing someone else's life. That's not me. So, but that was not even the just decision. I just knew that I was, in my mind back then, I was like, even if I come to this company, this person here, I will not be engaging too much with them because, you've not met me. You don't even know whether I'm the son of that person. You've not met me. We've not had a discussion.
The person that is talking to you about marketing a company is still working in that company.
No. The person has moved to a new company, but the person now kind of learns that, oh, this is where I'm working. So the person was like, oh, that place, not bad mouthing it because she actually did not have anything bad to say.
Is it the new company that you went
to interview? Yes. So one of their people there used to work at the company, at my current company before.
Oh, like
so she was now yes.
Oh,
did we not mention the company? So
like
she was not
like
exactly. So she was not like oh, if this one was there, this one is even much more better. You even get this like that place would limit you. You won't be able to do this. You won't be able to do that. And I was like, you don't actually have to say that because I mean it's understandable if it's the HR of that new place that is telling me that okay, yeah, we have better this, we have better that, but you are coming from the aspect of you've worked there, now you are here, so that place is definitely bad, it's not good for me, and I didn't want to start there.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me understand this. This is so funny because you're like
what?
So basically
But that was not why I didn't go there. That was not why. Yeah.
Wait. It's so funny. So basically, someone that is working in this company that you interviewed in has worked in the company that you were coming from.
Yeah.
And that you were planning to leave.
Yeah.
Right. And so she's badmouthing that company.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, you badmouth the company I'm coming
No,
from.
I did not. So I didn't say anything. I was just smiling. I have
But
that
you didn't
smiling.
like
Yeah, I didn't like it that she was saying that way, because there's a way you can, even if you want to give someone hints or help, there's a way you can go about it without necessarily speaking evil of persons or speaking evil of places.
Oh.
You can just say, oh, this new place, you will learn this in addition to whatever you've learned there. But the way the person said it was, oh, that place you can spend 5,000 years.
I think why she probably might have said that was she felt like you would relate since you are living there. That so there's a reason that you are living there.
I know that's
I
exactly
relate
why.
totally with you, and so you're going to get a better experience.
But I'm not that kind of. She probably meant it that way. I know she probably meant it that way. So, but that was not even the reason. I mean, you don't make decisions based on that. Yes, and because it was just how many minutes of knowing each other. So
talking too much.
So, but that was not even the reason. Eventually, I know it didn't work out because it took time, and that's one thing I've learned with interviews. Or more, if you are, I don't know why, except maybe if you know someone, maybe it will be fast. But interviews these days are unnecessarily long and endless, for me at least, and it just takes a lot of time. But I know eventually I didn't go with that, so I just randomly saw the place I'm currently in online. They put out a vacancy online. They were searching for this, and it was digital marketing they were looking for back then. And while I was at where I was, I had been sponsored to take a course in digital marketing, but we weren't doing so much of digital marketing. Whenever we have digital, we work with a couple of other agencies to get it done. And I was like, I would actually like to learn this thing. And the new place said they were looking for digital marketing interns, and they said they were looking for corpers also. I was like, okay, great, service is coming. So I just try it out. And one thing is, I would also say is, my boss is someone that even while we were there, she even used to encourage us to actually develop ourselves, because she works with a lot of young minds. Most of us in the company are young. There are a couple of old people, but the bulk of us are young. So she's always saying, develop yourselves. She's always saying you can use the company Wi-Fi to take courses. She would even show us courses that she has taken, that she used it to shame us that you people are young and you are not developing yourself. So she's someone that is she places emphasis on actually developing herself. She usually tells us, she'll be like, sometimes, you know, that there are side gigs that you can be doing. She tells us so. There are side gigs you can be doing that can make you money, that can make you extra money in addition to whatever you are gaining here. So I don't know, but I feel you'll be able to get from my perspective why my heart is drawn to someone like that, because it's not normal in the corporate workplace. It's not something you see in the corporate space. It's a kind of boss I would like to be when I also own my company. If I own my own company, it's the kind of boss I would like to be. Someone that, because again, the reason why people are working is because they believe they have goals, professional goals, and apart from money is the main reason why I'm working. They believe that, okay, if I work here, it's going to my career goals a bit. That's why they are working. So if they are there, even if it is just the littlest support, or keep mentioning is that you people, there's a new course, so you guys should take it. Your HR, if your HR is just always sending emails of courses or something that they should check out, something that just shows and it is evident, not.
I feel like, now that you mention it, I feel like HRs are never pro employees. They are always like on behalf of the company to the employee.
Safe Space Podcast, let's not get into that conversation. I have a lot to say about HR, and I empathize with them. It's the way the Nigerian culture is.
Because
that's the truth.
At the end of the day, these HR people, maybe if HRs are not paid by the companies, perhaps if there's like always like a consulting firm,
but companies will not do that. Companies will rather be their own HR.
Yeah.
If it gets
so
to it.
At the end of the day, HR are like, these people are paying me. Obviously, I cannot go against them for you people.
So that's what happens, and it's one of the things I encourage. I mean, a lot of young people like us now are starting businesses. Try and get it right from the start. Don't always forget about the people. I I cannot give advice because I've not been there. I don't have a company, but I want to hope as much as possible that when I run my own company, I would, as much as I'm concerned about the profits, I would not treat the people who bring in the profits any less. I would try and make them also feel okay. I think if they're okay to some extent, human beings are insatiable, right? But at the barest minimum, where it is evident to them and to me that I tried my best given the things on ground.
The thing you mentioned about like sending links, so you can do this, you can do that, grow yourself, is the littlest thing that HRs can do, even if you cannot fight the company on behalf of the employees.
she does that. And there's even, because while I was there, some of us got some couple of people there got admissions, studied are studying abroad. You would still hear her send links to them. That this is something you should do. She's someone that is that invested, and you can a couple of people from my department that also did internships there or something would attest to that. She's someone that is that good.
How you went into defensive mode when someone is not like bad Martin
because
and that person.
Exactly. So
I mean, it's enough for you to say that you're not going to work in that company.
But that is not enough. I don't make decisions based on emotions. I don't make this kind of decisions based off emotions. I did not say anything. I was just like, oh really? I have that smiley face I give when I'm not I don't agree with what someone is saying, but I don't think I need to engage you in a discussion, because in the first place, nobody you are not even the HR I came to interview. You're just passing by and maybe you heard and then you ask the question. So I mean, eventually, so when I just tried out. So she was always encouraging us, try out. It would be a great, one thing she keeps saying is it would be a great thing if in the future she's able to say these are also people I've trained, because the other people she has already trained in the industry. She's someone that has been in the industry for over 30 years, and most of the people she has worked with already own their own agencies and all of that. For someone to be the president of the agency body, someone that rose with the DGs of Akron in the industry, she's someone that she has earned a medal. So I think maybe that's not part of the things for her also. Maybe she's not in that stage of money by all means, more of impact focused. So I think that's maybe I don't know. I'm not
because she's so much of a good boss.
But I think she has just always been a good person, because a lot of those people, when you meet those people too, they say good things about her, like how Madam this for them, Madam this for them. So when I eventually got the offer from my current place of work, I was like, okay, thankfully, I was like, yeah, how was I going to tell her? And I wanted to do it in a way, because I mean, I feel like a lot of youth in our generation, like you said, burn bridges, I don't care, but this was a bridge that had been instrumental to me. No matter, I'm someone that, and I think Bible also instructs us, no matter how bad, even if a person does bad to you, always remember the good they did to you as well. So the fact, I still keep saying it's the fact that she gave me laptop for my it was a company laptop I used for my project, and the money, the leverages that she's given me even in the industry and all of that, I was like, okay, I want to do this. I knew that she was not going to because seeing what had happened with the others, she was not going to be like, she's not someone that does not want progress for us, right? So but me, the way I was going to place it would determine what would happen after the relationship. I could do it in a way where I just drop and disappear. I mean, I'm an intern now. I just drop my laptop and disappear, and that's the end of it. But is that how I want to end that relationship? No. So I told her I wanted to have a discussion with her. Right? That was what I did, because it's better she hears from me. I didn't tell anybody. I think I told just one colleague in the company. And the person also just said that I have a discussion with her. There's no problem about it. I mean, I think that's the best thing, right? So a place where people will get it wrong is they go and start telling everybody in the company.
The situation about burning bridges depends on if the person you're working with is a good person, if they want your progress, like the situation of things in that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why now where I'm speaking now, I'm not even speaking the way I'm talking about it now. I'm talking about the company from more of now an interpersonal, intimate situation where it's not exactly about the money now. So of course, it's not exactly corporate. again. So it's understandable why it's that way, because there are some places that you will work in. The agreements, the contract that we signed when getting in was, I do this, you pay me. Once we end the agreement and I resign, there really is nothing to do. But I would also advise that you leave doors, yes, you leave doors open so that in case you need them knocking, or not even just for anything, just to be a good person. When you are leaving, live well, because whatever impression that is left is still you that would own it. So I mean, even if the company has been terrible to you all while you were there, and they said that it is 2 weeks notice period you have to give the 2 weeks notice period. Try and do whatever you have to finish up. Don't let them stress you, because some companies will now say that, oh, it's 2 weeks that is left. All the work you're supposed to do for the next 1 year, 2 years, they will pay it into 2 weeks. You know, you can understand. I understand. I expect that everybody should be sensible enough to know when the company is trying to just use you for nothing. Do what you can do in that 2 weeks and respectfully leave. You don't even have to use the full 2 weeks. If you have collected your salary, you don't want to collect your salary. But you can, because in the corporate place, you also have to know how to protect your own. Always remember that you, the individual, are the brand, and it's because you are good or because you had something worth hiring. That was why you were hired in the first place. So even when you are leaving, your living in a good way or in a bad way should still be about you, how it will look for you going to your next place. And
because you're a brand.
Exactly. So that's what it's been for me. So I just had the conversation with her that, okay, I got this and I would like to go, and she was like, no problem.
Is that how you said it? Just give us.
You want me to give how I Shay, you want to leave your this feels so.
We don't have to go into why I'm asking.
Okay,
I'm
so
asking for our listeners.
All right, listeners. Oh, based on you, so you know how the person is. That's why I mean, study communication. So I mean, for me, I was just I like to have a conversation with you, ma. No problem, ma. Sheko serious. Hope it's not hard. And then I'm like, okay, I've been searching online and I applied for this. I did an interview. Yes, I said all of that. I did an interview and I got a new job with so place. Okay, fun facts here. So it was even 2 hours I got at that point.
What of the place where you did?
No, I didn't. That one, those ones did not reach out to me until after I'd made a decision. So it was 2 offers. No. It was 2. The second offer was from another referral from someone from fellowship at another level. So another agency that he was working with. And those ones had even reached out to me since I was in school, that they were going to hire me. They were promising one good amount, and I was like, wow, that. But so they just said that they were waiting for me to finish school, and I was like, okay, no problem. Then when at that point they were saying that they were still going to hire me. I did a couple of tests, even did written tests, did presentation for them. They said it was fine, only for them to now come back after and say that, okay, because I was doing NYSC, they cannot pay NYSC that amount they wanted to pay me when I was a student. That NYSC amount is this particular amount. What? I was like, to heaven with you.
What? Is to heaven with you?
I don't speak like that, though, but at that point they've not given me
good phrase I'm going to be saying now. To heaven with you.
So they've not given me. But at that point they've not given me the offer letter. But it was 2 offers, and I already had a particular one coming, and I just told her that I had this offer, and she was like, oh, this one is an agency, which is where you would also see the fact that she's intentional about us. So one was an agency, one was a client side where we're working with a brand. But it was even just an internship. But on the agency, it was a full-time executive position. They were bringing me in as someone that already knew, because I actually showed them the work, which was all things I learned while working in this place. So one was an agency, one was an internship at a brand. And she was like, both of them are actually really good, but look at the 2. You've already seen what agency is like. You've seen how the business runs there. And anybody that is in MC space, integrated market communication space, knows that most agencies, if you don't have retainer clients, like clients that are steady, getting jobs is not always a constant thing. You have to constantly pitch. You have to ensure you're on the client's good side. You have to do a lot of things. You are at the mercy of the clients, to be honest. Not many agencies have their own thing that is going for them. Not many agencies in Nigeria have their own thing going for them. But she told me that brand, if you are working on the brand side, you would have a product that you are constantly selling, whether you are the one that you are even giving job to the agency. So she was like, evaluate the two. And now, so in that point, I even needed advice at that point. Actually, it was at that point I was like, let me actually go to
but wait,
yeah.
It is the agency that is saying that they cannot pay you that amount of money anymore.
At that point, they did not tell me. So in my mind, I was even like, I'll just go to this brand and start there, and then pending. Should I say this or not? I don't know if people will say it. So when I even resumed at the brand place, I resumed a month before my NYSC. I had my resignation letter typed that I was going to leave there. Yes, I had my.
To use a month.
I was just going to stay there until the agency gives me the offer with the salary and everything. So I was there waiting. I was just watching everything that was going on in the brand, learning.
Not gone at all.
Because of I was trying to secure NYSC. Like I wanted to do NYSC in a new place and learn more with the digital. And to be honest, it was that digital thing I actually needed to learn. But that's the thing. Sometimes greed, ojukokoro gets. So thank God I did not cancel the brand, because this was now an opportunity to work on one of Nigeria's biggest brands in the QSR space. That's where I currently work now. I've been there for about 2 years plus, and my growth there, I really just thank God, because how everything worked out there, it's God that is doing it for me. So currently serve as an assistant brand manager there, from digital marketing intern to assistant brand manager. So it's the way it's worked is different, and working now in the brand side opened my eyes to more things, such that these days whenever we invite agencies to pitches for us for our brand, I'm like, oh, this agency is actually not thinking how we actually want them to. So even now I'm in a position, sometimes I think about it, that if this woman decides to retire one day and she wants a couple of us to come and be like shareholders or something, managing the company on this side, I cannot provide better insights because I've been on the brand side. Yeah. And she too, when she started in her career, she also worked on the brand side as well. So you see how that knowledge is helpful for me, having worked on, and I've used this same situation of having worked in a brand side. If you know the number of interviews I've used it for, that I would just go, and when I had an interview with one of Nigeria's big agencies, one of the questions I asked them, when I had an interview with Ogilvy, no mass com, we have this thing with Ogilvy, that's Ogilvy Group. One of the questions I asked Mr. Seni Adetu, I don't know if he's a doctor, was that, okay, having worked on agencies, I haven't worked on brand. You know, after an interview, when they ask you that, do you have any questions for us? Yeah. That knowledge made me ask that very sensible question, and he took time to explain to me. Okay, I was like, having worked on brand side and agency side, I'm trying to look at, is one better than the other, and he gave me a very good answer, and I think that also would have giving him a good impression of me as a candidate as well. I got the role eventually with them, but I did not go for it. I still stayed with my brand.
What is it with you and declining roles and offers?
I think I just don't want to use my hands to do myself. That's just the thing with all of these things.
I think this just boils back to what we were talking about, decisions and making decisions, and all the fact that it's always not easy to make decisions. And then you mentioned that you had actually prepared your mind for life after school, but it didn't make it easy.
You can see that now. You can see all of this I'm talking about happened after school.
Yes, but it didn't make the decision easier.
It happened after school.
I mean, the first time we talked about during school, where you had to like leave one that is like double paying you well for the one that is not really paying you well because you were focused on your goal. And
one thing that has helped me with now is there have been some job offers that I've rejected because I figured that it was not going to help me be consistent in church as well. So attending services in church. So now they're rounding up now. Yes. It's become easier for me to do now compared to when I did that in school back then. That's our call to round up.
Yes. We'll be leaving very soon, sir. I will just cut this part. Please continue.
So
let's round up.
So after that, after looking at those two things, and I eventually made my decision that okay, so this is what I've decided. I'm just like awesome, and they even did a send off party for me. That even did a video that time that I'm not the Abiola, I'm the Abiola. That was what was happening. People were now asking, what's happening to Abiola? Where is he going? So it was like Abiola is going to, like they posted him somewhere else. Yeah. That's what it was. And I currently started working where I work now, and that one has been another whole different journey, but it's just been a combination of, to me honestly, it's been a combination of experiences I've had while in school. Is that wisdom I'm applying where I am now?
Is a lot. I don't know.
Like, you want to have another part?
Yes, definitely. Like, I'm hearing you left this, you applied for this one and you didn't take it, and the whole thing of you wanted to just work there for a month just so that you can hold another offer down, and you didn't end up taking it.
And when those ones now told me that the money we said we were going to pay you, have you gone for service? I'm like, I've not gone for service now. They said that, so that means we'll not be able to pay you that money. We only pay NYC corpers this thing. I'm like, so you want to use my brain?
Exactly.
And I was like, I would rather stick with where I currently am
instead of going
there with fake promises. It was actually the same pay at that time. So I was like, this one's already told me they were going to pay me up front. Yeah, if you are changing out on this from the beginning, then you're not so what else are you going to change?
Wow. How many job offers have you had to let go?
I'm not counting, but not a lot actually. Not a lot. It's not like as if I'm getting job offers every other day.
No, but the fact that you actually apply for them, meaning that you actually wanted to work there, but at some point, it just doesn't align with your goals. I feel like at the end of it,
not a lot actually.
What I've learned from all of this is to consistently work with God. Because so many things will be exciting, so many things will be shining, and you just want this, you want this, you want this. But it's possible that you can make mistakes at the beginning, but still involve God at whatever point it is, and still allow Him lead you, and not be scared to actually take His hand. And you have to there are just so many factors. I mean, look at talking about this is not help me consistent church, and you let it go just like that. Who makes such decision?
You see, one of the reasons why that one is even strong to me is because of the church indecisions I had before leaving school. So right now, I am on a mission to prove it to God that God help me. You see that they told me to actually come to a church, and I did not answer them. So now, this one that I'm in, I must not meet you at the end of my days. Then you now tell me that you did not fulfill my plan for your life. So right now, that one is a strong thing for me.
All right.
Now we have to rush for evangelism outreach.
Okay, with the promise that we're going to have this conversation with you another time, probably maybe based off another topic or another theme or another episode or a continuation of this series, however it is going to be. Just give us a summary, and with ending with, does it get better? Especially to people that are at the beginning of their career. I mean, I'm sure that you don't feel like you are there yet.
I'm not there,
but you're in the middle. You're far gone into it, right? Does it get better? And just does it get better?
Corporate world speaking, it does get better, but it takes a while. And I mean, you might get your big break immediately, very fast, very sharp. But in the end, in the corporate world, what we want is the money, right? So it's not even about titles alone. So we want whatever title we are holding to be commensurate to our quality of life, right? And eventually that comes around in the decisions you are making, with the type of job you are taking. There will be some things you have to let go, but that's corporate word speaking. There are ways you can rise, and you can decide to work on Sundays, and of course they will consider you more reliable than someone who does not work on Sundays because they go to church. I mean, someone has told me before that the reason why I did not want to go for an event was I'm lying that I have something to do at church. I had to tell them that I wasn't lying. I actually have something to do at church. So, but I think where the confidence and the peace comes from is knowing that what you're doing, you're working with God. And in working with God, the way it gets better is knowing that in the very last decisions you make, you took it with God in mind. Or even if you didn't take it with God in mind, you are determining that you're going to take the next one with God in mind. And again, the consecrations that you've decided that you're going to have, you keep to them. Even if you are not consistent to them, you've not found a way in your mind to explain them away as not necessary again. So as your level is changing in terms of responsibilities, positions, the consecrations that you've set for yourself, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to be faithful with reading my Bible, I'm going to forever believe evangelism is important, I'm going to be humble in service. I'm going to be active in my local church. I'm going to be a prayer. I'm going to be someone that will always believe in the power of God. I'm going to be someone that will walk in the fruit of the Spirit at work. I won't treat others how they treat me. I won't treat my company how they treat me. I won't treat my boss how she or he treats me.
Yeah.
Being consistent in those consecrations is what helps, because you remember eventually I spoke about the big picture.
Yeah.
You might find yourself in a role, who knows, I might find myself in a role where I'm handling communications for the World Health Organization someday, and money will not be a problem. The problem will not be policies. Whether this policy is actually for everybody or is a self-driven policy to achieve the agenda of a particular set of people. So it's in now that you can start making those decisions or not. So I think that's it from me.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This conversation is so rich. Thank you everyone for listening thus far. It has been a long one coming, honestly. And we are going to have more conversations like this. I'm sure that this conversation is like over an hour already, regardless of how much we break it into parts. So thank you all so much for listening. God bless you. Study and pray. Until next time. Bye.